What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be about the newest champion added to Marvel Contest of Champions, Spiral. I love Spiral. She's probably in my top three for champions this year. I absolutely adore her. I think she's so fun to use. She's so effective against champions like Serpent and other really annoying cosmic defenders. She just shuts them down completely. Spyro kind of reminds me of the Destroyer, but he has the playstyle and mechanics of Professor X and Mantis. It's such a beautiful combination of a lot of different characters that I like to come to this amazing character. So let's start off right away with saying I don't believe she needs to be awakened for most of her use cases. The regeneration on block while the dancing blades are active is great, but for the most part, it's not something you're really going to be worried about. And the debuff duration, what is it? The duration of shock, incinerate, and poison debuffs is reduced by up to 10% per fervor. That's also great, but again, you don't need that. These two things are nice to have, but Spiral is 90% of her whole power kit is in the base kit. This additional 10% where you could use her for specific nodes like Hazard Shift and then regenning on block from certain specials, that's all very nice, but none of it is necessary. So I just want to cover that right away, and all of the gameplay you see outside of these Serpent fights will be without the Awakened ability. So she's immune to Falter, and her stun ability accuracy is increased by 100%. So I believe that means she can parry Adam Warlock because he reduces stun ability accuracy by 100%. So Spiral just means she has a 100% normal when fighting Adam rather than having 0 like most champions do. All of her weapon attacks have minus 20% offensive combat power rate and a 1% chance to inflict a rupture. And this rupture scales with the amount of buffs the opponents have, as well as the amount of fervors you have. Now, fervor is her whole playstyle. This whole unique playstyle is based around fervor, and fervor will increase the amount of ruptures you place. So each time Spiral performs a light, medium, heavy, dodges back, or blocks if it is not the same action. So if it is not a repeated action, so light, light, medium, medium, dash back, dash back. As long as it's not one of those, she gains a 600% fervor passive for 13 seconds. Now, 600% added to 1%, that makes it 6%, right? So one fervor increases your rupture chance by, like, I think it's 6%. And these stack up to 15. So at max charges, basically every single hit is inflicting a rupture. So fervor is the main source of her rotation. Like utilizing this and understanding how this works is the key to using her well. And I'll show you the rotation that I use when playing Spiral that I feel the most comfortable with. But of course, if you find a rotation that you like better, feel free to use that one. So fervors are paused for 10 seconds upon reaching the stack limit, and when the pause timer expires, 10 fervors are removed. So the entire goal of building up these fervors is the second you hit 15, that's kind of your rush period. Okay, you want to rush to your special 1, throw that off, and then rush to your special 2 and throw that off before the fervors expire. That's kind of the whole name of the game with Spiral. She's a special 1, special 2 type of gal, and you'll see that in the rotations. Fervor expire 100% faster for each one past the first two gained consecutively without making contact or blocking. So if you want to lessen the amount of fervors you have and not hit the cap immediately, you can just dash back a couple of times and remove a couple of fervors that way in order to not hit the cap immediately. That's just a little pro tip if you want to use that for a specific matchup. This right here, this is where I mentioned the Destroyer, that aspect of her character combination. This is where it comes in at full force. While blocking, Spiral's mystical weapons have a 100% chance to destroy one of each Fury, Precision, Unblockable, Death Immunity, Immortality, and Indestructible buff, replacing it with a Rubble buff for 45 seconds. So remember, the buff potency, or the potency for ruptures, is increased for each buff on the opponent. And Mystic Dispersion, she doesn't gain Mystic Dispersion benefits normally. The benefit she does gain from each rank is increasing rupture duration for 1 second per rank invested. So each buff on the opponent is going to increase the rupture potency, and if you have a high MD, the rupture is going to last longer. So how she plays into Mystic Dispersion is super fascinating, and I like it quite a bit. So the rest of her kit here kind of repeats itself because the special 1 and special 2 both gain this benefit. The beam attacks gain 1400 attack rating for each rupture on the opponent, increased by 30% for each bar of power spent, and then she summons Dancing Blades on her special attacks after they finish, except on her special 1 there is a 2-second delay. Now let's talk about the Dancing Blades. Against non-science champions, while Dancing Blades are active, Spiral is not struck by attacks while dodging backwards, so that means she can dodge things without the use of the Dexterity Mastery. Very, very useful. And precision she would gain from the Dexterity Mastery are granted to the opponent, which means that's an additional buff for you to take advantage of to increase your Rupture potency. Very, very good. While Spiral is not blocking an attack or stunned, Dancing Blades can be fired as a single projectile when Spiral is struck by a light attack 2 or swiping up when holding block. They cannot be fired while you are stunned. So you can't fire a Dancing Blade if you're stunned. Can't do that. If the opponent is struck by a Dancing Blade, inflict a stun passive for 2 seconds, as well as a non-stacking 20% vulnerability debuff for 10 seconds. And that vulnerability is physical and energy. It's just vulnerability in general. If the attack strikes the opponent or their block, Spiral triggers her destroy. So you're going to see this utilized, especially against Serpent, that the Dancing Blades, all they need to do is make contact in some way. Even if you don't fire them, just like the Dancing Blades in general, making contact will destroy buffs. As an attacker, Dancing Blades cannot be fired for 2 seconds after being summoned by a special 1. And yeah, that was what I mentioned earlier. And then special 3, she gains attack rating based on Fervor instead of Rupture. Not a huge deal. So let's jump into the gameplay and really see what Spiral has cooking here. I recorded this stuff a while ago, but the loop here is essentially the same for every single matchup. I like to go for light, medium, light, light, and then, or light, medium, or light, medium, light, light, medium. The result is basically the same. It just depends on how much power you want from those initial combos and how fast you want to ramp up to that 15 fervor. Because if you actually delay a little bit and you build up more power, you can have the 15 fervor maxed out for longer. So I actually prefer the 5-hit combo over the 4-hit combo because it allows me to build more power before actually finishing the ramp up. So you saw there I just used the Dancing Blades going into a special 2. This fight's already over. I mean, I talked through that whole thing. And Drax is down in 38 seconds. 300,000 health, 38 seconds. I mean, pretty ridiculous. Let's watch another fight where I believe I utilized the full 5-hit combo, and I'll walk you through the whole loop, just making sure that I actually do it in this fight. So I start with light, medium. Yeah, so it's light, medium, light, light, medium. You can see that after each 5-hit combo, I'm getting 5 fervor, and that's keeping me at kind of a decent chain of having enough fervor but also not maxing them out while also building power. So once I throw my special 1, I can build up to my special 2 while keeping the fervors maxed out so I can build up my ruptures along the way. So now I'm going for a 4-hit combo, throwing my Dancing Blades, going for a medium combo right into special 2, and Star-Lord's dead. Spiral is a little difficult to manage. She is a harder character to play because there is a lot going on. So I wouldn't assume that just because this looks like, oh, it's flowing very nicely, that it's super easy to do. There's a lot going on here. There's a lot to manage. And having a good control over which attacks you are doing and how you plan to max out your fervor is going to show mastery with Spiral. So if you really get comfortable with her and you figure out your favorite way to max out the fervor and get that special 1, special 2 loop going, she's going to be great for you. The wonderful thing about Spiral is this loop can just be repeated forever. The special 1, special 2 loop deals around 300,000 damage, and the cooldown is when you throw another special 1 and get maxed out. So once you throw that special 2, your next objective is to just get right back to a special 1 and get right back to a special 2. There really is no better rotation to do for Spiral. It is just special 1, special 2 repeat and continuing to max out the fervor as you repeat that loop. She's very simple in theory, but in practice she does take a little bit of mastery to really get down and understand so you can actually have an effective time using her. But the numbers that she's putting up here and the time she's putting up for this type of health pool are nothing short of amazing. I know this is a rank 3 7-star, but there's no boost here and there's no synergies. This is just Spiral doing her thing. Using the Dancing Blades there's the vulnerability, going for the extended combo. I believe the max number of hits you can get is 4. I believe if you're really quick, you can go medium, light, medium, and then into another combo. But typically, I go for medium, medium, and then go into another combo. It depends on how close you are to the opponent when they get hit. It depends on how they react to the hit stun. All of that is indicative of how fast you can get in those hits during the stun. But typically, you can go for a medium, medium after the Dancing Blades and go right in for another full combo. So now I want to show you what a Battleground simulated, Alliance Force simulated Serpent fight could look like. I'm going for the light, medium, light, light, medium combo, like I said, to keep my fervors relatively at bay without maxing them out too quickly. Now I have them maxed out. I'm going for my special 1 here. The power steal for each blade is... or the power steal for each rupture on the opponent is really nice, and then the power steal when the opponent has a power gain is even nicer. All of her blade hits power steal the opponent. I believe it's based on rupture, and that helps her ramp up even faster. So I throw the Dancing Blades after my special 2, and there's a serpent, simulated serpent down in 30 seconds. Let me just clarify what the power steal does. So right here, when a personal rupture would be inflicted on the opponent if they are not at max power, Spiral power steals 1% of their max power, increased by 3% flat while the opponent has a power gain. So every time she would inflict rupture, she does power steal. And the more fervors you have, the more ruptures you inflict, and the more power you're stealing, especially when the opponent has a power gain like Serpent. So here's 2 more Serpent simulated fights I have here. I do these back to back just to prove how amazing Spiral is for Serpent. She is, I would say, definitively the best Serpent counter in the entire game now. It is very hard to die against Serpent using Spiral. It really is. She's made for him. She really is made to counter everything this guy does. In term, like, the Rupture being damage over time effect, so it's not reduced by his instant burst damage thing. The Dancing Blades allowing her to dodge his special 2, and if you're in 60 frames, dodge his special 1 as well. It's just, like, she is made to destroy Serpent, and because she's made to destroy such a powerful defender, and everything he does, she also translates well to other powerful Cosmic Defenders. So that was a bit of a slower fight because I let Serpent use a special 1 there. You can do a Serpent fight without letting him throw a single special. Like the fight I did initially against Serpent, you can do that without letting him throw a single special attack. So this is just literally a back-to-back Serpent fight, just showing you guys how insanely effective she is for Serpent. I'm not even really showcasing the SIG here because it's hard to tell when the SIG is being useful because she's typically at or nearly 100% health when fighting Serpent, just because of how fast she gets going, you know? Like Serpent, he just threw 1 special 1 here. I'm already at my special 2, and I'm going to toss the Dancing Blades right after he throws this special 2, which I can just dodge because of my Dancing Blades, and then boom. The Dancing Blades hit him, 39 seconds, 100% health. That's it. That's it. So, Spiral, I think she is going to be an incredible champion. Not only will she be good for Serpent, I can see her being very useful as just a general Mystic nuke. If people really learn how to use her well, like I plan to do, and get her at a 6-star, 7-star level, take her up super fast, she's going to be hard to stop because her whole playstyle, her method of dealing damage is very unique, and unless there is high physical vulnerability, or high physical resistance, or rupture immunity, she is almost impossible to stop. She's super simple in terms of the method of playstyle, or she's super simple in terms of what you want to do. It's special 1, special 2, but the method of getting there is not that simple. So I want to emphasize that disclaimer that she is not a easy champion to play. If you utilize her properly, you really understand how she works and how to ramp her up well, then you're going to have a lot of success with her. But I wouldn't just jump straight away into saying, oh, she's super easy. Look how easy that it is. Because, yeah, it's easy because I know how to use her, and I'm making it look easy because I've been using her for a couple of days and I've mastered and understood the playstyle. So, she does take some mastery, like a lot of Mystic champions do, a lot of high Mystic damage dealing champions do, like Kushala and Tigra. But if you're willing to learn it, I think she is an incredible character. I will be opening one pre-release bundle for her. Fingers crossed I can get 7-star. If I do, she will be my next rank 3. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I love her that much, and I am absolutely willing to take her up super early. So, thank you all very much for watching. Let me know what you thought of Spiral down in the comments below. If you do open pre-release bundles, let me know if you get lucky. And yeah, we could talk about Spiral further on the channel as time goes on. But yeah, like I said, thank you all very much for watching. If you have not, hit the subscribe button and the like button. Both of those help me out greatly. And if you're into notifications, hit that button too because it lets you know when I upload or when I go live. All right, take care, everybody.